So who gets the vaccine? That's what they're deciding right now at CDC headquarters in Atlanta, Georgia. Advisors gathering, sharing information, then ultimately voting on how to go about this process. Dr. Anita Gupta here, the anesthesiologist expert on all things keeping everyone calm when it comes to this virus. So, doctor, very good to have you back. I'm wondering, obviously it's going to be as big as the number of doses we're talking about are. It's going to be a slow rollout of the billions across the planet who want to be protected. Maybe tens of millions of doses available right now in some of these applications. That doesn't mean, tens of millions of individuals, because some of them require 2 applications. But how do you think this process will go?
Well, thank you, first of all, for having me on. So look, I think what's really important to remember is that a vaccine, doesn't save lives. It's going to be the vaccination strategy. And we really need to understand that it's a collective responsibility here. And there's so much work that will be necessary to turn this vaccine into a clear, concise vaccination prevention strategy. And it has to be comprehensive, and it has to address trust, and it has to be transparent. And I think, what we're seeing is that 50% of the people in the United States are not quite sure if they even want to take the vaccine. And so that's the critical, point where we're at right now. Even though this has been a historic movement from the federal government, from getting Pfizer, Moderna, AstraZeneca, and rigorous and swift and incredible. This is the first step in really controlling the spread and driving hope throughout our country and the world, really, to save lives.
For good or ill, doctor, there's a lot of suspicion on the part of Americans leery to take whatever vaccine is coming. Some who think it's been politicized, others who think that unless they see a stamp of approval from the FDA, and even then they're going to be suspicious. Still others who are leery of vaccines, period. How do you convince patients down the road, depending on the rollout and who has what and when, to take it?
A lot of this is going to come down to education and awareness and understanding what a vaccine is. 65 to 70% of the population needs to be vaccinated, according to the World Health Organization, in order to prevent outbreaks. And no vaccine can really prevent anybody from becoming ill if half of the population isn't on board. So, these are important data points, and everyone needs to become aware. We obviously need to review the data that we'll be hearing from the FDA too about safety and efficacy, and all the populations need to be, served equitably. So there's a lot of things ahead that I'm sure we're going to discuss. But this needs to be a collective responsibility on everyone's part. We're all committed to this, and we're all connected. But there certainly is a lot of hope ahead.
While I have you here, Dr. Anthony Fauci had said, if he had things his way, the low family gatherings that we were being recommended to practice on Thanksgiving, he'd continue for Christmas and New Year and the holiday, one more holiday, to make sure we don't botch this, that we keep the crowds low, we keep the family gatherings limited. Do you agree with that?
Yes, yeah. Dr. Fauci, he's correct. I mean, we have to remember prevention is #1 here. And again, the vaccine is incredible hope, and combined, this comprehensive strategy will get this pandemic under control by 2021, and that's the hope here.
Dr. Anita Gupta, very good catching up with you. Thanks for all you're doing, not only for your patients, but for us, keeping us calm. We need that. The anesthesiologist extraordinaire, Dr. Anita Gupta, on all of that.